Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We start our service on page 146, and grateful some of you have been able to pick up a few sidurs over the course of the past couple of months. And always, if you need a sidur, let us know. It's important that all of us are on the same page. So we start on page 146 with our morning blessings, blessings of gratitude. And let's just focus on one little aspect of gratitude this morning. This laif koach at the end, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten laif koach, for giving strength to those who are weary. That it's not just the weariness and being tired throughout the day. Why do we say weary in the morning? It's because we look at our day. Are we burdened by what we have to do in front of us? Is it hard to put our feet on the ground? That we look to what gratitude we have with what we are able to accomplish in the day, as opposed to looking at it as something that needs to be overcome. We start with our morning blessings on page 146.
Shabbat Shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sech v'binah lehavhin ben yom u'ben laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani betzalmo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam roka haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa li kol tzarki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher chikin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten le'af koach.
Page 218, we prepare for the Shachrit service by speaking of God's greatness, and we express this through the praises of God. You who abide forever, magnified and hallowed be your name. Shochenad.
Shochenad marom v'kadosh shemo v'katuv ranenu tzadikim baronai lasharim Navah tehila, befi sharim tit halal, uvedivrei tzadikim tit barah, uvilshon chasidim tit romam, uvkerev kedoshim tit kadash, uvmachalot rivivot amcha beit Yisrael. Shekein chovat kol hayitzurim lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elahei avotenu. Lehodot lehalel l'shabeach, lefarel l'romim lehader, levarech leoleo kaletz, al kol divrei shirot batishbachot, David ben Yishai, avdecha meshichecha, yistabach shimcha lad malkenu. Berachot v'haodot me'atah ve'ad olam, Baruch atah Adonai, El melech gadol batishbachot, El ha'od Adon haniflaot, Habocher b'shirei zimra, Melech Elhei ha'olamim.
Page 224, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or v'rei hoshech, Osei shalom v'rei atokol. Praised are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who forms light and creates darkness, who ordains the harmony of all creation. And we gather today through the wonders of modern technology to worship together as a congregation. And we still blend our voices, even though we are distant and far apart. We join our voices and we join our hearts as we prepare to worship and praise not only God and our Creator, but praise each other, to lift each other up at this time. We turn to page 228 for El Adon.
El Adona kol hamasim, Baruch v'ora b'fiko neshama, God lo betuvo ma'ale olam, Dadu tvuna sove bimoto, HaMikael chayot hakodesh, B'nei arachavot al chamerchava, Tzuru mishor livnei chiso, Chesed berachamim livnei chevodo, Tovim me'orot shabara Eloheinu yitzara medat b'vina l'askel ko'al gvura natan bahem liot boshlim b'kerev tevel meliim ziv umfikim noga na'ezivam b'chol ha'olam smechim b'teitam b'sasim b'voam osim be'em aratzon konam her v'chavod no'nim lishmo Zachlaverin ala zecher malchuto, kara la shemesh va'izrachor, ra'avechit kinsurat havana, shevach nonim lo, kol tzava marom, tiferet ugedula, seraphim ve'ofanim v'chayot hakodesh.
We turn again to a wonderful prayer, 236, starting off with Le'el Baruch Nimoti Tenu, to the hallowed God they offer sweet song, to the living sovereign they utter hymns, to the eternal God they give praises. How we sing and praise and give hymns, what's the point? One of my favorite guides and mentors along the way suggested, if anyone's ever taught school to young adults or to young children, or taught Hebrew school to young children, it's very, very difficult. Certainly Hebrew school, afterwards, kids are coming after a very, very long day. They can't focus. They're excited to see each other. They're ready to go home, whatever it is. When people are in their heads and a little squirrely, as they say, or even a little crazy or manic, however it is, how do you get people to focus? And one of my mentors said that best and fastest way to do that is through song. And song brings everyone together. Song brings everyone into the same mindset. And that's what we do here. And we're just coming off of Hanukkah. And so when we sing just briefly Or Chadash, it's a song we all know. It's a little quick idea of bringing light into the world. What's really important is that we not forget that the light that we have really spent an entire week, 8 days discussing, bringing more light into the world, that although that's over, Hanukkah's over, now we look to the next holiday, we still need to continue bringing that light. So we're constantly reminded. So we will prepare for the blessings before the Shema with Or Chadash.
Or Hadash al Sion Ta'ir, V'nizkech Ulana Mehera Le'orot, Or Hadash al Sion Ta'ir, V'nizkech Ulana Mehera Le'orot, Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot.
And how we continue this focus through this central part of this service in the morning, of course, is the Shema. We sing together on page 238, bringing focus to the Shema, Ahava Rabbah.
Ahava Rabbah Haftanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Amla Gedola V'Tera, Amalta Aleinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Ba'avur Avotenu, Shabbat hu v'cha, Avinu Malkeinu, V'ad lamdem chukei chayim, Kein techanenu t'lamdenu, Avinu ha'av harachaman, Amrachem rachem aleinu, V'tein b'libenu lehavin, Lehavinu hashkil lishmoa, Le'lemod u'le'lamed, Lishmor ve'lasod, U'kayem et kol divrei, Talmud Toratecha be'ahava. Ve'aher inenu v'toratecha, V'dabek libenu b'mitzvotecha, Ve'yached levavenu, Ve'ahava u'lira et shemecha, Ve'lo nevosh, Le'olam ba'ed, v'lo nebosh, le'olam ba'ed, ki v'shem kodshecha, hagadol v'hanora b'taknu, nagila v'nizmecha, nagila v'nizmecha b'shuatecha.
We ask you, God, to gather our people in peace from the four corners of the earth as we gather our four tzitzit together of our talit in preparation of the Shema.
V'havienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot ha'aretz, v'tolichenu kamemiut le'artzenu, ki el po'el yeshuot ata, uvanu v'charta mikolam v'lashon, v'kerav tanu, l'shimecha hagadol sela be'emet, l'hodot lecha, u'yachedcha be'ahava, Baruch atah Adonai, Abocher be'amo Yisrael, be'ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, u'bechol neotecha, ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'eleh, asher anochi netzavecha, hayom alevavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha, b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha, v'derech, u'shachbecha, u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
To see, to remember, and to observe. On page 246, we continue to focus on the Shema through the tzitzit. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the children of Israel and bid them to make fringes in the corner of their garments throughout their generations, putting upon the fringes of each corner a thread of blue. When you look upon the fringes, you will be reminded of all the commandments of the Lord and obey them. You will not be led astray by the inclinations of your heart or by the attraction of your eyes. Thus you will be reminded to fulfill all my commandments and be consecrated to your God. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, the Lord, am your God."
Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lahem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet.
Emet v'yatziv v'nachon v'kayam v'yashar v'ne'aman. Truly the God of the universe is our sovereign. The rock of Jacob is our protecting shield, who exists throughout all the generations, whose sovereignty is firmly established, and whose faithfulness endures forever. We kiss and release the tzitzit as we turn to page 252, as we turn our focus now in preparation for the Shemona Esrei, the Amida for Shabbat, page 252.
Tehilot le'el Elyon Baruch Borach, Moshe u'bnei Yisrael l'chanu shira, v'simcha rabah v'yomru chulam, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, no rahilot osefele, shirat hashashi b'kugolim l'shimcha, al safat hayam, yachad kulam hodu v'himlechu v'yomru, Adonai Imloch Leolam Vaed. Ur Yisrael, Kuma Be'ezrat Yisrael, Ufadei Chinumecha, Yehuda Yisrael. Go Aleinu Adonai Tzebaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
On page 254, the Shachrit Amida for the Sabbath, the cantor will lead us in the first few brachot, and then we take a moment for meditation, thought, a moment of reflection as we enter into personal prayer. But on Shabbat, this prayer is a little different. We don't ask only for ourselves, we ask truly just for ability for praise. Page 254.
Baruch atah Adonai Elohei Elohei Avotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov El Hagdol Hagibor V'Hanor El Elyon Gomel Sadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot Yigoel B'neihem Leman Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Atah Gibor Le'Olam Adonai, Mechaye Metim Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechakel Chaim V'Chesed, Mechaye Metim V'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Holim, Umatir Asuim, Mekayem Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umidon Elach, Mel Mimid Umaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Be'emanata Lachayot Metim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMetim.
Grant peace, goodness, and blessing to the world, grace, kindness, and mercy to us and to all your people. Bless us all, God, with the divine light of your presence, for by that divine light you have revealed to us your life-giving Torah, taught us loving kindness, righteousness, mercy, and peace. May it please you to bless your people in every season and at every hour with your peace. Praised are you, O Lord, bestower of peace upon your people Israel.
O say Shalom Bimromav, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imeru Amen. O say Shalom Bimromav, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imeru Amen.
We turn now to our Torah as we say together the bracha, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. And this week's Torah portion is Miketz, chapter 41 of Genesis, and it reads, Vayehi Miketz shnatayim yamim ufaro cholem v'hinei omed al hayor v'hinei min hayor Ola Sheva Parod, Yafot Mar'e Uvraot, Basar, Vetir Ena Ba'achu, Vehine Sheva Parot Acharot, Olot Acharehem Min Hayor, Ra'ot mar'eh vedakot basar v'ta'amimona etzel haparot al sfat hayam. So I just wanted to read that in English, and it says, after 2 years' time, this is to remind us that Joseph, of course, in the narrative, Joseph was in prison and, of course, read the dreams for 2 of Pharaoh's servants, and one was killed and one was restored to his high place in the court of Pharaoh. And Joseph, when they left, asked them, please tell Pharaoh of the greatness that I did by reading these dreams. And he had hoped to get out of prison this way, that somebody would remind the Pharaoh how great this guy was, that he was able to read the dreams. 2 years pass. 2 entire years pass, and the narrative picks up again. What an enormous amount of time that Joseph must have thought that his wishes and his dreams, his aspirations, his hopes, his thoughts about maybe getting a different life, a way to get out of where he was, wasn't going to happen. 2 years is a long time to think, to sit, and to wait. So we should always remember when we just read this little pasuk, the importance of what it's like and who around us is waiting for something amazing to happen, and maybe it's not coming. And how can we help others when they are reaching out for help and when they ask for help? As the Pasukim continue, after 2 years' time, Pharaoh dreamed that he was standing by the Nile. What is the Nile? The Nile is the centerpiece, obviously, to Egypt, but many of us, if you remember your world history, is that most civilizations, if not all civilizations, were and came up around rivers. Rivers were the life force, literally the backbone of every ancient society. And in the case of Egypt, of course, we know it to be the Nile. Without the Nile, there is no Egypt. We are aware of that. So mystically, if you read this from a mystical standpoint, what does the Nile then represent? The Nile represents the human being as being our life, our soul. What is the most fundamental, important part of our being is, of course, our life. That the Nile here represents our life, who we are as an essence, who we are as a being. And it continues on to say, when out of the Nile there came up 7 cows, handsome and sturdy, and they grazed in the reed grass. But presently 7 other cows came up from the Nile close behind them, ugly and gaunt, and stood behind the cows on the bank of the Nile. And the ugly, gaunt cows ate up the 7 handsomely sturdy cows, and Pharaoh awoke. And I think it's important that we look at really 2 aspects of us as human beings. Oftentimes we live in a dualism, good, bad, gaunt, fat, light, dark. We get stuck in that, but aren't we as a human being just one whole? If we take this idea that we are the Nile, that we are on some level just this entity that is being, that is the source of life, so to speak, in this case, Nile being the source of life of Egypt, we are. And out of us comes at times very great positive things. Cows that are abundant, there is great abundance, cows that are fat. And there's also times in which we have maybe a very poor attitude, a poor perspective that would be represented by the gaunt and skinny cows. The most important thing for us to remember is to not let that gaunt and skinny, dark, negative perspective eat up that which is in our lives to be positive. In other words, let us be careful that our core, our source, is always something that is trying hard to see, not just positive, but go for what is the best parts of ourself, the pleasantness. Too often we let the unpleasantness overtake the pleasantness. May we find the source of strength in each and every one of us to continue to find peace, shalom, and pleasantness in our lives. Shabbat shalom. We continue with concluding our service with Aleinu, which can be found on page 480.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breishit, shelo asanu kagoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kachol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Notei Shamayim Be'Osed Haaretz, U'Moshav Yikaro B'Shamayim Ha'al, U'Shchinatu Zo, Begadei Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emed Malkeinu Ebezulato, Kakatu betorato, viarata hayom, vahashevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha-Elohim, bashamayim mimhal, ve'al ha'aretz, mitachat, enod, al-kenu.
For sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory, as it is written in your Torah, the Lord shall reign forever and ever. And it has been foretold, the Lord shall be sovereign over all the earth. On that day the Lord shall be one, and shall be acclaimed as one.
Kakatu b'toratecha, Adonai imloch le'olam v'hed, v'nehemar, v'haya Adonai el melech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
May the memories which we cherish and lovingly now recall inspire us so to live, that we too may bequeath a heritage of precious memories to those whom we shall leave behind. In this week's yard sites, Cantor Haim Fine, grandfather of Gary Codell, Ethel Grossman, aunt of Jay Bloom, David Bachman, father-in-law of Arnold Sisk, Evelyn Kober, mother of Leslie Ellery, Evelyn Stern, mother of Craig Stern, Morris Adler, father of Sue Eisenberg, Aaron Simon, brother of David Simon, Keith Barrick, brother of Stephanie Gutman, Robert Gabriel, father of Debbie Gabriel, Saul Globerman, father of Gail Dash, Beatrice Flancer, mother-in-law of Harriet Flancer, Sally Mallon, mother-in-law of Lori Mallon, Evelyn Rabkin, aunt of Randy Rabkin and aunt of Lori Feinholtz. Ribono Shalom, Elohei Rechut L'chol Basar, Master of the world, God of the Spirit of all flesh, it is revealed and known before you that it is our desire to praise your name. And may our yearnings and prayers find favor in your eyes and be accepted and received before you. May you grant hope and healing to all who suffer, and may we soon be able to once again gather safely in holiness and joy. May your name, God, be elevated and sanctified everywhere on earth, and may peace reign everywhere. Say shalom ben Ramav, huya say shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God, who makes harmony and peace in the heights, grant us harmony and peace for here, for us, and for all Israel, and let us all say amen. We conclude our service with Adon Olam, which can be found on page 488.
Adon Olam asher malah, b'terem kol yitzir nivra, le'enasa v'evza kol, azai melech shemoni kra, ve'acharei kichlot hakol, levado imlok nora, v'hu haya v'hu oveh, v'hu yeh b'tifara, v'hu echad v'yein sheni, l'hamshilo l'hachbira, v'li reshit v'li tachlit, Velo haoz vehamizra, vehu eli, vechai goali, vetzur hevli, beyetzara, vehu nisi umanos li, manat kosi beyom ekra, beyado apkid ruchi, beyeti shan beyaira, beyimruchi gaviati, Adonai li, velo ira. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yasher Koach to you, Cantor. Thank you.